Hello, grade 4. I hope you all are well. Today we will continue the second part in the fourth lesson, which is the importance of sunlight. Today we will speak about the living organisms. We have to know that living organisms are divided according to their way of feeding into three categories. Okay, what are these three categories? They are producers, as we see here, producers. The second category is consumers. The third one is decomposers. Okay, so all living organisms are classified according to what? According to their way of feeding. Okay, into producers, consumers, and decomposers. First, we will talk about the producers. The producers are living organisms that depend on producer. The producers are living organisms that make their own food by process called photosynthesis process. As what? As plants and algae. Plants make their own food by photosynthesis process, as we discussed in the last session. So they are type of producers. Okay, so all types of plants and algae that make their own food is called producers. Okay, the second category is consumers. Consumers are living organisms that depend on producers. They depend on producers to get their food. They take their food from producer in a direct way or indirect way. As we see, consumers are living organisms that depend on producer, maybe indirectly form or in indirectly form. So consumers may be cow. The consumer eat plants directly, but human or lion may eat cow. Okay, so do you think that this lion eat plant or not? The answer is yes. This lion eat plant. How? Because the cow eat plant or it feed on plant. Then the lion eat the cow. So the lion eat cow which eat plants. So it eat meat and eat plant. So it eat consumer, another consumer, and it eat plant or producer. So any consumer can eat producer by a direct way or indirect way, like the cow eat producer by a direct way as it eat plant, while lion eat producer by indirect way when he eat or when it eat the cow. Okay, so as we see here, fox running after rabbit. Let's see the two types of consumers. The first type is consumer which feed on producers, like what? Like like cows, like sheep, like chickens, like humans. While consumers which feed on consumers as lions, hawk, snake, and human. So the consumer which feed on producers, they are all animals or living organisms which eat producer by a direct way, and we can call them herbivores. Okay, while the consumer which feed on consumer, they also eat producer but by indirect way. So these consumers which feed on consumers, we can call them carnivores like lions, hawks, snake, humans. The last category is decomposers. Decomposers are living organisms that get rid of food or feed on organic wastes dead bodies, plant remains, and decayed food. So the decomposers are living organisms which feed on what? Feed on organic wastes. Like what? Like dead bodies, plant remains, and decayed food. And we have two examples or three on the decomposers. First, some types of bacteria like yogurt bacteria and yeast fungus and bread mold fungus. So the first example is yogurt bacteria, the second one is yeast fungus, the third is bread mold. All these are types of bacteria which feed on dead bodies, may also feed on plant remains and decayed food. Decomposers have very importance in different field. For example, decomposers get rid of dead bodies and plant remain. So without decomposers, the earth will be full of dead bodies and food remains and dead plants. So decomposers help in the balancing of the environment. Okay, as it get rid of this excess organs or organisms. Second, they increase the soil fertility. Decomposers always found in the soil, so they help in increasing the soil fertility. And they are used in lots of industries like making yogurt, tanning leather, and many other industries. So I hope you get benefit from this quick revision on the last part in chapter 1. See you next time. Thank you for hearing and watching me.